you're always looking over to the
Yes,
side. Okay.
yeah, we're always looking off to the side, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, all right, let me pause this. Okay. Let's see. Hey guys, this is Terri King, your commercial connect, and today we are interviewing Malikah Anderson. I cannot wait to show you guys what we have in store. So, if you have any financial questions about your taxes, this is going to be the interview that you will want to watch. So, I will see you guys on the other side. Bye. All right. Okay. Now we're going to start it over here. Okay. So,
Okay.
good morning, Malikah. How are you?
I'm blessed. Blessed. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you this morning.
Yes.
I
Yes.
appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Oh, oh yes, you are so welcome. So, we met through the National Association of Black Women in Construction,
Yes,
back in March of 2026. And
yes.
I just thought I never heard of the niche version of what you do.
An enrolled agent.
Yes. And so
Don't feel bad. You're not the only one.
I'm not the only one. Yeah.
No, I
I was
constantly tell people what an enrolled agent.
I know I was looking at you like a dog with three heads. I was like, hold on, wait now. Because I'm one of those people where I try to learn about financial education, both
Mm-hmm.
professionally and personally, so I can build my family office. I have a family office
Yes.
in mind. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and and so I was like, wow, well, I think I need to know about that. And as a small business owner, um,
Yes.
I thought other small business owners would also like to know about what you do. And so, okay, and I'm getting my head ahead of myself. So, hi, I'm Terri King. I am your Commercial Connect, and this is the Commercial Connection, where we interview other business owners and practitioners, specialists, experts on all things commercial real estate construction, commercial government contracting, so that we can help small businesses grow and scale. If you're like me, want to grow and scale into a family office so that our children too can be art teachers and be on House Hunters with a $5 million budget. So we like to have fun here and keep it informative and fun and help you. We want to help. Our goal is to help you get to the next level. So today, joining us, we have Miss Malikah Anderson. And with that, I'm just going to jump right in. So, Malikah, can you tell us the name of your company and a little bit about your background, about how you got started and what led you to become an enrolled agent and founder of Alternative Consulting Group?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Malikah Anderson. I am the founder and principal of Alternative Consulting Group, LLC. We do my DBA is AltTaxPlans for short. I spent over 13 years in the federal service with the U.S. Department of Labor, where I handle complex workman comp claims from the White House and for every federal agency that federal workers work in. So therefore, I had to do, if they got injured on the job, their case file came to me for adjudication. I was assigned to the special claims unit. So in that unit, we assisted federal workers who reside and work overseas. So I got my passion for helping people through those 13 years because if they got injured on the job, it was my job to adjudicate those claims and make sure they were work related. Once they got accepted, I had to make sure I'm covering their family, protecting their finances. Nobody want to get hurt and don't know how they're going to get a paycheck the next day to pay their bills. So through that passion, I've learned to help people. Now, they were all federal workers, of course, but their families nonetheless. Then I decided, okay, I'm a small business owner. Although I worked for the federal government, I always had a small business. What was one of the things that was plaguing me each year was taxes.
Yes. I like
I
the word plague.
I would dread when I get a letter from the IRS, like, oh my God, is this business or is this personal? I did not want to open the letter, but I had to. So I eventually realized that I was not the only person by talking to other people, that other business owners, that this was an issue for them. And then I decided, okay, I need to find a way how to understand the tax code. A lot of time we don't have someone to help us to figure out the tax code. What does it mean, right? So I said, how can I transition? Now, I didn't want it to be in a job situation. I wanted to really expand my personal business. So I said, all right, it's time to move on. I've been doing this for a long time. It's time to now fully transition in my business. So I decided to go take the exam and be brave. Now, an enrolled agent is not easy. It's one of the hardest exam I've ever taken in my life. I promise you. When I passed that exam, I cried. It was so hard.
I know the feeling.
I literally cried. I could not believe it. I cried. Okay. So I decided that I was going to take Alternative Consulting Group on the road. I was going to come out here, teach businesses, teach small businesses about what it is, how to protect themselves financially, how to become financially ready. And that's what I've been doing. So here I am today.
That's perfect. So how does an enrolled agent differ from a CPA or a traditional tax preparer?
So, an enrolled agent is a federally licensed tax practitioner by the U.S. Treasury Department, and we represent taxpayers before the IRS in all 50 states. So, my clients come from all over the country. Unlike tax preparers, enrolled agents specialize in taxation and IRS representation. So, while a CPA more focuses on accounting, auditing, financial reporting, the enrolled agent, we just do taxes. I eat taxes, I breathe taxes, I drink taxes. That's all I do is taxes, even in my sleep. Because we are constantly having to educate ourselves about what laws have changed around taxes, right? You know, we have the big beautiful bill with the Trump administration. So every changes that has been made in that bill, we have to learn it and learn how to help our clients with their tax issues. Yes.
And that is a great distinction. And so similar, so I am a licensed broker. I have my own brokerage, Terri King Commercial, here in Atlanta. And
Mm-hmm.
we're licensed here in Georgia, similarly, like how you said, like the difference between you and some other folks is it might be a state license, but as an enrolled agent, you can work federally across state
Across
lines.
the, yes, state line.
Yes, and which, I know a lot for my audience, people, especially if they're in the retail industry or if their business is growing and expanding, maybe they are a franchise and they want to work in multiple states, someone like you would truly be beneficial because if they
Yes.
want to have a location here in Georgia or California or, New
Yes.
York, once they start to scale, someone like you is really helpful versus a CPA or a tax preparer who may not be knowledgeable in all
About the
the tax
laws.
codes
Yes.
and nuance of a city or a city, county, or state, right? Or
Mhm.
or even federally, like they just may not be as well versed and can't necessarily help you get from one standalone kind of mom and pop shop to a
Right.
thriving multi-location business. So that's a great distinction. So, what are the biggest financial and tax mistakes you see business owners making today?
Not understanding your bottom line. Business owners do not understand their bottom lines. They do not know how to count their numbers. Many businesses know sales, but they don't understand cash flow. And they don't review their financial statements regularly. So they don't set aside money for taxes.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand what profitability means, right? The second mistake they make, and I think this is the huge one, they wait until December
Oh,
when it's about to be, because in everybody's mind, January to April 15th is tax season.
yes.
Not for businesses, it's not.
It's not. It's
That's
really
for
not.
individuals. Individuals. They do not. Your deadline is going to be different based on the entity structure you have, whether you're LLC, S Corp, or C Corp. Your deadlines are always going to be different, right?
Yeah.
So I hear people say, so when tax season is over, what do you do? What do you mean? What do I do? Tax season is never over for businesses. Okay. So all my small businesses, I do want to encourage you or people considering starting a business. You have to learn this portion of it, how to get your business ready. You have to understand businesses for taxes for business is not January through April 15th. That is for personal tax. For business tax, it comes with a whole nother set of things. If you hire people, you have payroll taxes. That's quarterly, right? So no, that is the biggest mistake. And then they do not tax plan ahead. So they wait till December and they said, well, I made 600K this year. Okay. And what did you make a plan for it? No, but can you deduct it?
No.
With what?
With what? And then also, just to kind of add on to what you're saying, a lot of business owners, well, every city or county, wherever you do business, you have to have a business license.
Yes.
And a lot
Yes.
of cities, their deadline to renew your business license,
Yeah.
in which you have to upload your tax documents, is usually
Yes.
late January, early February. So if business owners are thinking, oh, I'll file my taxes in February, or
Yeah.
I'll get around to it, there's
Yeah.
often a penalty associated, because if you
Yeah.
don't file your business license with that municipality, that city, by that late January, early February deadline,
Mhm.
you have, $500. I've seen thousands, of for late fees for
Mhm.
filing. So what you're saying is
Thousands of dollars in
thousands of
penalties and
dollars,
fees.
thousands of dollars
And
in
yes,
penalties.
that's why you have to tax plan. Because we think like IRS. Nobody think about state, county taxes, municipal taxes. It's a lot of taxes, city
A
taxes.
lot of things.
Everybody wants a piece of the pie. It's not just IRS who wants money from businesses, right? And if you really think about it, this is really how they make their money year round to keep everything going, you
Yes.
know. So they're coming for a piece of the pie too. So all of my business people, I promise you, IRS tax is not the only tax you need to focus on. It's all the taxes.
It's all
But do not wait. You need to be meeting with a tax professional such as myself as an enrolled agent or a CPA or even a tax attorney to tax plan throughout the year. Do not wait till the end of the year, because then when you get hit with that 37%, tax bill, and you're like, well, I only made it on paper.
yes.
The government don't care.
They want some. They
They want
want
some.
some. They
I'll
don't
give you,
made
I'm
it
gonna
in
give
the
you,
sky.
and I just want to give y'all a perfect example. I purchased a saving bonds back in 2000 when I was in the military for $100. I did not cash that saving bond until 2025 last year. I went to Bank of America. I cashed the saving bonds. I got $68. That's all I got. 25 years later, all I got was $68. And I kid you not. Would you believe that Bank of America sent me a paper in the mail to file my taxes on the 68? I paid $6 taxes.
That's right. They need
That's
it.
how serious they are about collecting the tax. So play if you want to. Y'all play if y'all want to.
They
But
said,
don't let it
no mountain low enough, no mountain high enough. Listen, we want
Listen, they want
it
that
all.
money.
They're getting
So
to
I'm saying
you.
this to say that that's like how we laugh about it. That's how I try to get my clients in that mode where they get out of that frustrated mode, right? Because by the time they come to me, they are frustrated. I don't want you to come to me frustrated because these are stuff we can prevent ahead of time. Like I said, tax plan throughout the year. You will not be frustrated at the end of the year. You won't be pulling your hair out of your head figuring
Yes.
what to do. I want you to be able to laugh about it like me and Terry. Okay. You
Please.
know they're coming for that $6. Okay,
They
this is
want.
what it is.
They want it. So
They want it.
what's that? And I think you've definitely like touched on it. So what's a warning sign a business might be headed for trouble with the IRS?
When you start missing payroll taxes, when you start ignoring IRS notices, please open the notices because every notice comes with a warning or a deadline. And you do not want to give up you don't want to give up your rights, right? Those deadlines, once they pass, they pass. It's not no going back to them, right? Failing to file your returns on time. Businesses sometimes get so far behind, they skip. So for this entire tax season, one client for me had not filed taxes in like 6 years. How can you be a business person and not file your taxes? Now, yes, you don't have a W-2 on file, right? So you're not doing payroll taxes, but you're still responsible to pay taxes. So we're counting what, 6 years worth of penalties and fees? That is crazy. You understand?
Exactly.
That is ridiculous.
That would make me cry. Yes.
You cannot do that. Even if you file behind, it's better for you to file the tax return, be compliant, and just work out a payment plan, right? But at least you're compliant. But when you get so far behind, now what happens is they don't remember how much money they brought in, right? So now we got to spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to reconstruct income and all of that. That's time you don't need to waste when you could be scaling your business. So things like that, they fall behind in bookkeeping. They don't have anybody keeping the books. No QuickBooks, no zero, no nothing, right? And then they turn around and use the payroll tax to pay for operations. You cannot use the money that is set aside for the government to operate your business.
No, you
That
cannot.
does not make any sense. So if we address all these issues early on, then we can definitely have more options to work with than when you come and you just have a whole lot of things going on and you really, really stressed out because what am I going to do? Right? It takes time. And it's not going to be overnight, guys.
No.
I've seen cases where 2 years, 2.5 years, because you took a long time to file the taxes. The government isn't in no rush. I promise you, they're not in no rush.
At
They're
all.
not in any rush. So it will take time to work this out and resolve it.
And that's really good to know because some business owners do get behind in a
Hmm.
very popular way of because we want to focus on helping people scale. And so a popular way businesses scale is they buy other businesses, like they
Yes.
purchase other businesses. And I've been involved, we as a broker, like we do business sales along with the real estate, right? That just comes with it. But oftentimes people don't look at that, like payroll
Hmm.
taxes and everything, as a part of the due diligence piece because they're looking at the assets or they're looking at just like the revenue line. And that is definitely something if you all are considering purchasing another business to help you,
Yes.
sometimes they purchase a like business and then change the name because all of
Hmm.
the guts are still the same. But if you're just saying, if you're a nurse and you're saying, oh, okay, I want to purchase a restaurant, right? That you shouldn't just be looking at how much the food costs or how much it costs to pay your people. You really have to look at these taxes because once that deal is closed, it's yours.
That's it.
And if you don't have anything in place to say, no, 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 that wasn't me, it was the other guy,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
This is your burden to bear. And so we have about 10 minutes left, Malikah. So I want
Mhm.
to ask, what separates a healthy business from those constantly operating in crisis mode?
So what separate them is a business owner who has their big books together, right? Someone who track their income, their receivables, right? You know how much is coming in, you know how much is going out, your books are in order. You are able to, if you want to say, go ahead, there's a contract out there and you want to bid on it, you don't have to worry about not being contract ready. You are contract ready. Everything is in order, you're ready to go, right? A business that is not, you will try, like I see a lot of businesses coming in trying to bid on contracts at the airport or in the counties or so forth. And that is one of the reasons that I'm finding is happening. You have billions of dollars flowing through your state, your counties, and those are contract dollars, right? We talk about, I'll give you for an example, in Henry County, Georgia alone, that's $2 billion sitting there in contract money, waiting on small businesses such as yourself to come in and put the work in. But what's happening is a lot of these businesses are not contract ready because you guys are not paying attention to your payroll. So if you go in to get a contract, remember most of the time you got to foot that contract right until they pay you. So normally the businesses that do go in and get it, we may go get a loan from SBA, we may go get a loan from our banks or whatever. I promise you, the first thing they're gonna ask you, where is your tax papers? They want to see those tax papers. So if you have not filed them taxes in 6 years, they're not gonna give you a dollar.
And if you've written off everything in the last 6 years and you're showing zero,
Say that again.
like you're taking a loss for the last 6
Your
years,
business always zero.
they're not going to give you any money.
They're not gonna give you any money.
I see it as a woman in, commercial real estate and in,
Yeah.
construction and government contracting. We
Yes.
see it. Sometimes you have to pay the money so that way
You do.
and think of it as an investment in.
Yes.
So I
To grow.
hurt
To grow.
to hand over those dollars, but you can't get to a $20 million a year business if
No.
you are in your, $500,000 a year or, even $50,000 a year taxes, but you're saying like, I never make any money. They're going to
I
say,
hear that all the time. I hear that all the time. They come to me. I don't want to pay no taxes. What? You
yeah,
got to pay some taxes.
have to
You
pay.
have to, you cannot zero out your business to the point where every year is zero. Now, for the first 1 to 5 years, when you're just starting up, you're just starting the business, right? So you're trying to get the business off the ground.
Mhm.
Yes, we understand that. But by year 6 going up, you got to be showing some type of profit. Your
Yeah.
business cannot be zeroed every year. Or I've seen people get $2 million contracts, set nothing aside for taxes. What are you going to tell the government? You got a contract for $2 million, but you don't owe any tax. Come on now. We got to stop.
No way. So for the next question, what trends are you seeing right now that business owners should be paying attention to?
So one of the things that I'm paying attention to in this tax season is who the IRS is hiring,
Mhm.
right? So a couple of weeks ago, most of the jobs that were out on usajob.gov was they are ramping up on tax attorneys. They are ramping up on the support system for those tax attorneys. That means they're getting ready to resolve backlog issues with taxes. And once those get resolved, if you got away or thought you got away for the last couple of years not filing business taxes, you're going to start getting notices. Okay. We have to pay attention to what is going on inside of the internal revenue at all time, whether you are a practitioner or you're a business owner, what is happening? And that's what's happening right now. I pay attention to who's getting hired, right? If I see they're hiring a lot of revenue officers, or we know collections is starting to come through. And the reason I know that, I have clients calling me. They're getting notices in the mail. They're coming home. They're getting notices in the mail. They don't understand what the notices are, and they call to ask what the notices are. And then that's when we start digging deep. When was the last time you miss this return? Did you file that return, and so forth? So these are the trends that you need to be watching to say, okay, I need to get ahead of this before it comes to my doorstep. So should you get a letter, by the time you get the letter in the mail, we can call and say, no, we already taken care of that. We are in compliance. Now we're on to resolution.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so we are about to have some rapid fire questions
Yes.
and preferences. Okay, so what is the most expensive mistake you've ever seen a business owner make?
It depends.
Give me
The
a
biggest,
number. Give me a number. What's the biggest
So there are actually tax cases out here where business owners go to prison, and I'll give you one that is like a tax invasion with a CPA.
Oh, oh
Okay,
no. Okay, so jail. All right.
jail, no jail, and I'm
What?
telling you, it's that serious that your freedom is on the line. I'm dead serious. So when it comes to tax invasion, is where people start thinking they can move money offshore. They're making millions of dollars and they're moving those money offshore. Those offshore accounts can with penalties and fees 200 million in taxes and fees and penalties and another 5 years in federal prison. It's not worth it, people. Or when people say, on Instagram everybody buy a trust and we just stick the money in the trust. Stop listening to those people. There is no way the federal government is just going to allow you to just go ahead and stick money in a trust and you're thinking you're not going to pay taxes. I promise you, people who live outside the United States have never been here, but they may have businesses or investment opportunities here. They have to pay 30% flat tax. They got to pay tax. They ain't never been here. Is what I'm saying. So if America goes around the world to pick up the taxes, do you think a trust is going to stop them from, I hear that all the time, like, oh, I don't have to worry about that because I put mine in the trust. Okay. You will
Okay.
be, and I give them my business card, call me.
Tell me, because what you said, the agents are being hired and the letters are about to be
Yeah,
out.
that's what I'm
So
trying to tell you.
what is the biggest mistake you think is keeping a six-figure business owner from becoming a seven-figure business owner? And we have about 2 minutes left.
Um, Most of the time is that payroll tax is the biggest thing, right? Because when you get hit with payroll taxes, right? Remember, in our ecosystem, where contracts and so forth, you're not the one doing the work. You will have to hire people to do the work. So let me just take a few minutes and explain. When you take the money from their paycheck to give to the government, which is their FICA tax, their social security, right? And you do not pay that, the government is trusting that you're taking that money out of their check and you're going to pay them, but you turn around and spend that money, you will get hit with a trust fund penalty, right? That's 100% that the government will leverage on you. So say they leverage 60% on the business and 40% on the personal. There's no way of getting out of it. Once them fees start piling on, that's millions of dollars that you could end up owing. And it could come to a point where you may have to shut down your business because you cannot get up from underneath it.
Wow. Wow. And not even have the option to sell your business.
No.
You just have to shut it down.
But if somebody was sending you a business that hold millions in taxes, would you buy it? I'm not buying
No
it.
one's gonna buy that. I think the only way I'd buy something like that is if they had active big contracts in place or something like that. Like if somebody, but I wouldn't buy it. Like it's just you just wouldn't want to get into it. And so I don't think that we would do it. And let's see here. And I'm just gonna do this really quickly. All right, and we are back. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, but we are back here.
Yes. We are.
Malikah Anderson, our enrolled agent extraordinaire.
Yes.
So thank you so much again, Malikah, for being here with us today. And I mean, you have just been giving us hot fire because one, I've never met anyone who made taxes interesting, so I appreciate that. But
They do. But guys, I love doing taxes. I'm passionate about it. And I truly pray that everyone here, my passion, I am here to assist you, to help you so you can help yourself and help your family, help your businesses to grow. I want your businesses to grow, especially small businesses. Okay, go out here, come get these contract dollars. People are saying to me, I don't have no money. Why? The money is sitting
yes,
in the county. I promise you.
yes.
Just call me. My number is 470-230-2313. That's 470-230-2313. My website is www.altaxplans.com. And of course, Miss Terry's going to put my contact information down in the descriptions. But call me. let's get your company contract ready, right? Because I'm telling you, there is work to be done. Here in Georgia, if you drive, you see nothing but a lot of constructions going up all over Georgia. And Georgia is not the only one. And Terry, you know, because we're in NABWIC, where our founder, Miss Ann McNeil, she brings us billion-dollar contracts all the time with the luncheon, right? We're meeting decision makers all the time that come to our organization with NABWIC, right? The National Association of Black Women in Construction. We get access to speak with decision makers in their cities where they're showing us, like, this is how much we have for contracts. This is what we need businesses to do. So we get to see it. Most people don't have the opportunity to see or be in the rooms that we get an opportunity to be in. But when we tell you that they're there, and my job as an enrolled agent, as a tax practitioner, is to help you to get there, right? And it's not hard. I promise you, it's not hard. It is not hard. We just got to be diligent and we have to be compliant. And we are there because we're doing it in our business. So it's not like we're telling you something we're not doing. We're doing it in our businesses. So we are here to show you how to do it. And I think that is one of the reasons why I mostly niche, Terry, in construction, in transportation, in logistics, right? Because I really need to see business is moving, right? And with us, we don't only get to interact with decision makers in the airports, we interact with people in ports, in P3, in facilities, in watershed, you know, in housing. Those are the opportunities that we get to actually be a part of and be in the room with those decision makers and hear what they need, what they, you know, what needs to be moving and so forth. So we are truly passionate about what we're doing. I promise you. Yeah.
Very, very passionate about it. And that's one of the reasons I went, because you were recently awarded an opportunity. And so when I saw
Yes.
that, I said, wow. And I, just interacting with you one-on-one and then learning about your work. And every time I feel
Yes.
like I meet or talk, I learn so much. And I feel like that about all of the members of NABWIC. I'm like, you do what?
Yes.
It blows my mind. And, after over a decade of being a full-time entrepreneur, my mind is still blown. But you're so right. You do it every day in your business because I think, in that first year or two, you're still trying to figure things out and put some puzzle pieces together. And I think almost all business owners get to a point where they're like, hey, I think they do one of two paths. They say, okay, I'm always going to be, $300,000 a year business. I'm happy.
Yes.
This is where I want to park my life. We see that, people who, women like us, like, okay, well, I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom, but I want to have a business. So, I have to cap myself out at like 300,000. I know I can't scale past that because I just don't have the time. Or you see that with retirees, right? But people like and
Yes.
retirees can be any age, I think. But
Uh-huh.
people in the middle, we want to scale. So I think the people who want to scale usually are like, I need to do, it's something that you have to do differently. And it's usually
Yes.
process, it's process and payroll, because there used to be things where you could, because we can, right? As business owners, you can and you have worn all of the hats, and sometimes the hats at the same
Yes.
time look like a clown, right? And so you want all the hats. But when you want to scale to get to that next
Me,
level,
you're the cook.
would you say
Yes. Yes.
yes?
In the first 5 minutes,
Yes.
you're the cook, washer, you're the sweeper, you're doing everything in your business. So yes. Yes. Yes.
And so with process, now you have to say, wow, I need to do things differently. So I
Yes.
need to renegotiate my contracts with my vendors, right? I don't want to spend much on pens or paper or equipment, right? And then it's like, I need to hire. And hiring might look like you don't take
Yes.
salary, or you don't take commission or owner's draw for a year. It might look like you're taking out just enough to pay the bills, but now
Yes.
you have other people and other hands that can help you lift and go further. So it's a short term pain for a long term power move. if you will.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's how I usually see it. And I've interacted literally with thousands of business owners through conferences and just speaking to them and being a part of different associations. And
Mhm.
that's that point where people are like, oh, I'm doing 100 million a year, or I've met some billionaires, and
Yes.
like, and I can't even imagine that at some point they were like me or struggling, or but it's always I had to pay myself less, I had to hire more people, I had to scale back so I could scale up.
Right.
And I love what you said earlier. There is no internet hack. There's no substitution for hard work.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that is so true. Okay, and so I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions, and then we'll wrap up here in just a minute. But okay, so
Okay.
what does Malika prefer, LLC or an S corp?
It depends. It really depends on what is it that you're trying to attain, right? And it depends on where your numbers are, how much money you're making, right? Some people don't need to definitely switch over into an S corp unless you're going to keep up with the process, right? It's not the same as the LLC where the tax just flow through. There are different things. You have to definitely set up payrolls for S corp. You have to, pay yourself, set aside some of the money to pay yourself, and then figure out the other portion of it. So when it comes to C corp, now that's when you really scale, right? That's when you bring it in the dollars. It
Mm-hmm.
don't make sense only making $50,000 in your business, but you want to be a C corp. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? We need to get the money up there.
So would you say if I'm doing 200,000 a year, is an S corp worth it?
100,000, yes, definitely be a S corp.
That's
Yes,
it.
definitely S
Okay,
corp.
okay. All
You're
right.
not
So, what should someone get first, a bookkeeper or a CPA?
bookkeepers.
Bookkeeper.
Book
Okay.
the books is important.
Yes, both are important. And then and let's say, should business owners care more about cash flow or profit?
Cash flow.
Cash flow. I agree. And then we talked about the biggest IRS. Oh, do we ask that? Biggest IRS myth.
The IRS is going to ignore me and they're going to go away. They don't see, they're so busy, they don't have time to see me. No, they see everybody.
It will make the time.
Yeah.
Okay, most overlooked deduction.
Retirement contributions.
I
People
recently
are,
learned about HSA.
yes, they're not considering their retirement contributions. If you work a job for a long time and you've been, saving in your retirement plan and so forth, those are tax strategies and tax deductions that you can definitely implement the correct way to reduce your tax liabilities. Yes.
Okay. Biggest contractor mistake.
They are contract hungry. They're hungry for the contract, but they're not contract ready.
Okay.
You
Okay.
got to get ready, guys. Don't be hungry for it. It's there. I promise it's there. It's not going anywhere. But once you get ready, you're good to go.
You good to go. That's right.
Yes.
All right. One habit every entrepreneur should adopt.
Review your financial reports monthly. You need to know your bottom line. You need to know your numbers. So review it monthly, not at the end of the year when you're sending in the tax papers to to get your taxes done. You should know what is going on in your business each month.
Yes,
Yes.
and I'll add to that. It's not my hot fire, but I'll add to that. If you are using AI or a software that uses AI to categorize your business expenses, so for example, you have your card hooked up to a QuickBooks or some other accounting software,
Mhm.
reconcile those charges every week because it's AI. They may not recognize the charges for what they really are. So they might say if it's a mixology place, which like bartending, they might say, "Oh, this is a paint store," because they're thinking you mix. What do you mix? So make sure that the charges that you actually have every week are
Mhm.
reconciled with these AIs because they don't know, and depending on how that vendor has themselves categorized, or just maybe they're going off of the name of it or what they think it is, they're guessing. So, and if you are not careful at the end of the year, if you're like one of those people that Malika says, December through April, you may have 1,000+ transactions that you have to then go through on these
Yeah.
AI software. Am I right? Am I right in that?
Well, training the bots. You got
Because
to
you
train.
have to train the
You got to
bot.
train. You have to train your bot. So if you're going to use AI, try to get a personal bot so you can personally train your bot to operate how you want the bot to operate instead of using ChatGPT. ChatGPT does not work for everybody the way you think it's supposed to work.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially in that in real estate and construction and in
Okay.
government contracting. It does not, it's because those aren't, those aren't
Yeah.
I think well talked about things. And so the information that ChatGPT or any of these AI softwares have
Mhm.
is only as good as the data inputs that they're getting.
Like yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
You have
And
to train the
so,
bot.
what is one thing to never ignore from the IRS? I know you said the letter. What's another thing that people should never?
Do not ignore the deadlines. Those deadlines, once they are passed, you cannot get it back. And then you give the government the right to move forward with whatever they want to move forward with. Okay, because you passed the deadline, you give up your rights. You don't. There's certain things where if the IRS is not working with you, you do have the option to go to tax court. But say, for instance, you never opened that letter and you let that 90 days pass, that's it. So deadlines is very important. Open, I'm telling you, I have clients who come to me and they tell me, I said, I know you've been getting notices. And I have one guy, he said, I just throw them in the garbage because they just kept coming all the time. So I just threw them out. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you?
Don't do that. Don't throw them away. At
Don't
the
throw
very
them
least,
away, guys. Open
it's
so much. So I guess he got frustrated. He threw them away in the garbage. But now you got to pay me to go back and climb through all of that information where you, and now we're past the deadline. So now we're scrambling to like, oh my God, we got to, play catch up. So guys, deadlines, deadlines, deadlines. Open the letter. Some people put them in a shoebox. It's not helping you in the shoeboxes, guy. Open the letter and read it. I promise you, you're not going to jail to read the letter. You're going to know what actions needs to be taken. And if you don't understand it, call me. Call someone who can explain to you what the notices are and what is the requirement, what they're asking for.
yes. Oh, thank you. Okay, and last rapid fire question. Best piece of business advice you've ever received?
Know your numbers, guys. Know your numbers. That's how you're going to know if you're ready to scale, when to scale, if you're ready to grow your business or not, right? Everybody's not in scale mode, right? Some people may have to go another year or two to get to where they need to be. With me, when I started my business, because I was working full time and I was running my business on a part time base, there was a lot of things that I was using that time to implement. So once I decided to go full time, everything was already in place because I used that time to do it. I never tried to get ahead. Like trying to grow before it was time, right? So there are seasons that your business is going to go through. Use those seasons to prepare that when the right season comes for you to grow and to extend out, to step out, everything will be in place. Everything will be in place.
I love that. And it's so true. That's, for me, even beyond like the financial numbers, because there are invisible numbers to your business as well. Like I
Yeah.
have my numbers down. Well, I'm still learning for construction. Um,
Mhm.
but for real estate, for sure, I know I need to meet with X number of owners to get one listing appointment. It doesn't matter what the listing is. I
Yeah.
know. And so for me, it's like I need to take, it used to be in the beginning, it was like I needed to have like 11 listing appointments to get one listing. And so now it's like one out of three, one out of three people I meet with will hire me, right? And then same for business owners.
Mhm.
For the business
And then
owner,
same for business.
uh-oh. I know that it's like, okay, but how many hours is that? So is it 5 hours? So that includes prep. Like how many hours do I need to prep for these meetings? How much time do I need to sit with these people before I get yes? How many questions do I need to ask? Which probing questions usually is that flips that switch in the brain
Right.
to give me the yes that I want? And when you can plan it out that way, I think
Mhm.
business becomes more of a formula and it takes
Yes.
a lot of the guesswork out of it. And so once you know your process numbers and saying, okay, I need to go to this many networking events. And for me, I know every time I speak, I get a client from whatever speaking engagement, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
but I didn't know that at first. And I was like, huh, when you start to track it. And so now once you have your process numbers of what it takes to actually you have that formula to get the conversion to the client and then the from conversion to close, those numbers, then you can look at your financial numbers and say, how can I support this? What kind of capital do I really need? Some people think, oh, I need a million
Mhm.
capital before I can even get started. And it's like,
Right.
no, you don't, because you looked at your numbers. You really need like $15,000 to help you with some social media help, some flyers,
Right.
some promotional materials, right? And so,
Mhm.
and then it's like, what kind of credit score, what kind of cash flow? And that's why I think cash flow is way more important than profit, especially in those earlier, I would even say like the
Yeah.
first 10 years of business.
Years.
Flow is
Yes.
more important because that's when you're scaling, that's when you're experimenting, with
Yes.
things. That's when you're hiring and firing a lot, maybe.
Yes.
We don't want to fire people,
It's
but
true.
it's just you're finding all of the right fits for your business.
Yes.
So cash flow is really important, so you have freedom and flexibility and capacity to do those things and have a couple trial and error points.
Yes. And
Um,
every business, Terry, is going to have trial and errors. Every business. I don't care what business you're in. Everybody's business, guys, stick it out. I know it's rough. It's not easy. Especially, and I do want to say this for my people who were working, was a W-2 for a long time, like myself over a decade. And then one day you decide, I'm going to fully pursue my business. It's a mindset that has to change.
yeah.
This up here has to change. You're no longer a W-2, you're no longer a worker. You don't get days off and time off and sick leave and all of that. You have to be disciplined to your business. And yes, you're going to go through the trials and the error. Do not give up. Keep pushing through. Keep pushing through. There is, I promise you, there's something down there at the end of the tunnel. Okay. It's called success. Success is at the end of the tunnel. But if you never walk through the fire, how are you going to get through it? You
Yeah.
got to get through it. I'm telling you, because most of us, we just think we're going to get up and start a business, not realizing you have to change this right here. Your mindset has to be changed. Okay. If you don't get up out of that bed to make that business work, it's not going to work.
It's
And that's
not.
how it's not. And that's how I see a lot of people going back to let me get a job. Oh my God, I got to get a job.
I think I say that once a week. Still, I'm like, should I just get a job? But it's not easier.
But it's not easy, guys. So I never want to pretty it up and let you think that entrepreneurship is as pretty. Yes, we see the fruits of people labor at the end, but we don't understand what they went through to get to where they are.
Yes, it's true. It's so true. Well, Malika, this has been amazing. Will you tell us one more time how people can find you, talk to you, and anything else that you want us to know before we go our separate ways?
You can call me. My phone number is 470-230-2313. That's 470-230-2313. And my website is www.altaxplans.com. If you go on my website, you can book a 30-minute consultation with me. If you choose to do so, please show up for the meeting.
Yeah, amen.
I will be there.
And I am Terri King, your Commercial Connect. We are going to be learning about all things business strategy, commercial real estate, construction. We are just so excited and we want to help you
Yes,
feel. And again, and if you're like me with the goal of becoming a family office, this will be a great show. And I apologize for any background noise we may have had because it is summer break and we have real life over here with babies and husbands and families. But we hope you got a lot out of this, and we will see you
yes,
next time. If you want to reach out to me, you can find me Terri King on LinkedIn, Terri King CRE on Instagram and all other platforms. And you can
yes.
email me at info@Terri, that's TerriKing.com. So that's info@terriking.com. And thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.